YouTube. Alright, so we made it to our Consignee Atlas tube last night about 7. And there's a guy that went in right there, shipping, coming around the corner this way. Anyway, I was in there and got myself checked in for this morning. And then said they probably wouldn't start loading me till 8, and it's 5 to 8. Anyway, so I went to bed last night, and hold on a second here. I'm thinking. I can't do two things at once. I'm driving and thinking. So anyway, got up this morning. I made myself some bagel. I got another piece. And went in there with my cup of coffee and talked to that guy this morning. And he said, yeah, we're waiting on some of your material from Canada. And he'd call me. So he just called me. Said, line up at door 2 and they'll bring me in. Probably that stuff that's sitting there is mine, but I'm also going to have to go to another door, which is on the other side of this. So we're going to drive through this, and then they'll tell me what door. The guy that loads me will tell me what door I'm going to go into, and then we'll back into that door. And then once we get loaded, right next to it is the tarping area, so we'll have to back into that and tarp there, secure and tarp there, and then drive back around the building this way to about right there, go in there and get our paperwork, and then drive all the way back around that way, and out we go the same way we came in. So that's what I'm doing right now, eating a bagel, waiting. So they told me that I needed to have my dunnage, and 3 pieces of my dunnage, which was fine. So I got 8. So I made a bulkhead in the front with 5. I could have split it and made 2, but it doesn't really make any sense to me, to be honest with you. So I put 1 in the front. So my pieces are going to be 26 feet long. So I put my first piece at the center of my trailer. And lucky for me, Melton makes it easy for me by putting that right there. A lot of drivers will put duct tape or paint this thing. Sometimes you'll see it with a blue stripe or whatever in there, which is great, makes it even easier. But anyway, and then they wanted the other 2 pieces 10 feet apart. So again, in this industry, they try to make it as simple as possible for us brainiacs. Not. Anyway, from stake pocket to stake pocket, stake pocket to stake pocket, stake pocket to stake pocket is 2 feet. So 2, 4, 6, 8, bam, 10. So that one's there, and then that front one up there, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, bam. So that's what they want right there. So hopefully what'll happen is you can't tell, but there's a bow in the trailer. You can probably see it a little bit. But anyway, what it'll do is when they put it on there, it's going to sink and level out, and it disperses the weight that way and that way. So hopefully when it disperses itself, we'll be good. So on a flatbed, it's a little different. On a spread axle, it's different than most trucks. I'm allowed 12,000 on my steers. On my drives here together, I'm allowed 34,000 pounds. And on these tandems, on the spread axle, when they're spread like this, I'm allowed 20,000 here, and I'm allowed 20,000 here, for a total of 80,000 pounds max. So my weight on this load is supposed to be 46,000 pounds and some change. So if everything goes right, is done right, we will be, let me do the math here. Usually my truck and trailer is around under 31,000 pounds. Usually. I'm usually around 30,500 or whatever. So when that's all said and done, if it is a true 46, we're going to be, what, 77,000 pounds. So, and some change. So, in theory, they put this thing on there and they do it right, and it's in the center and everything. Everything is perfect, and we shouldn't have to do anything but drive down the road. But we will scale this load. I haven't scaled the load at all with you guys, only except for the load that I picked up in Oklahoma, in Tulsa, and took it to the terminal. I did scale that load. The reason why is you kind of look at it like a repower. On a repower load, you're swapping trailers with another driver. You are responsible as that driver to scale your trailer that you're giving to that guy so that he knows it's correct weight. Vice versa, he's supposed to do the same thing. So, because I was technically doing a repower for that guy or helping that guy out or whatever, I scaled that load, and it was no big deal. Literally, there was a QT across the street from the Melton yard. So I went over there, scaled it, it was fine, and turned that in with the paperwork. So that driver didn't have to worry about it being overweight or anything. So anyway, I have yet to have to scale a load since doing YouTube channels. So anyway, but we will scale this load. is our plan today. All right, our plan right now. So we're 3 high. So we're gonna run a belly strap through here on this low one on that end and this end. And then we're gonna run, I'm probably gonna run 2 straps on the bottom one as well. And I'm gonna run 3 straps on the second center one. And then I'm probably gonna run 4 straps. I'm gonna probably run 5 straps maybe on the top one. And then we're gonna cover, we gotta cover those edges. Those are sharp edges, they'll cut our tarp. So that's where the scrap tarps come in. So we're gonna we'll put those up there. Yeah, that should be good. That should be good. So we're gonna run straps. Strap. So, okay, so we're gonna belly wrap. So I want belly wrap right there. So what I'm gonna do is I want this hook to be down here, but I'm gonna run it through here because I want the end of the strap to be here. So I'm gonna run it over the top. Come on, that don't get in my way. Through. And then watch this. So this one, what it has to do is it's got to go that way, right? But we're not ready to do that just yet. So actually, I should have flipped, but that's okay. So we're going to run that back that way. But for the next one, we want to do the same thing. So this one is going to go there, and this strap, this end of the strap is going to be on this side, right? So do the same thing. Let's flip it. Come on, baby. Okay, now. All the way over to that one. This one. It's under there. There, right? Put the duct tape on it so they don't come apart. They're not really doing anything, but I slide that to the middle right there. Now we got a belly wrap. So it's putting pressure this way and then putting pressure that way. So it's keeping it together and it's keeping it from swinging. And then we put one down at the end and well, we'll be good to go. We've got this row done and this row done. We haven't got anything on the top, and the reason why is I got to put plastic on there. I forgot all about that, and I want to put my scrap tarp on the edges. So what we're gonna do is I'm not tightening any of these yet because I don't know if these are all in the right place based on what's gonna happen. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw plastic over the top, cover it in plastic, and then put my scrap tarp on the edges, and then get down and throw the last 5 straps over the top. It'll hold that holds the plastic down and holds my scrap tarp in place as well. So when I put my tarp on there, it doesn't bunch up or something like that. So that's what we're doing next. But we've got our belly wrap on both ends. We've got 4 straps for the bottom row, and we've got 3 straps for the middle row, and we're gonna have 5 up on the top, I'm sure. And we'll be ready to go. So really the key to these multi-layers and heavy pulls is really this on the deck needs to be secured and not move. This one right here is going to be based on this one and based on that one, if that makes any sense. So if you got that one tight and this one tight, again, this will be tight, don't get me wrong, it should not move in any way. And we have alternating pulls. So we've got hooked here, hooked on that side, middle one's hooked on this side. That's all you can do. And then we have the alternating pulls on these two in the middle here. So with the belly wrap and that, this should not move, right? It shouldn't do this. And then on the top, and then the top, if you think about it, what it's going to do is it's going to be pressing down on the deck and pressing inward. That's the idea with the strap, because if you notice, sometimes the strap isn't even touching this, right? It's not touching anything here, right? So we put more straps on the top, press it down and in, holding it onto the deck, right? That's what all of them are doing. So the three that are going to be on this load, pressing down and in. Belly wrap, pressing down and in, and then these, and then the belly wrap is holding it together. So it's actually, what it's doing more is it's pressing down, but it's really holding it together so that it won't do this while you're driving down the road, because we don't want this to swing that way and then the whole thing falls off, if that makes any sense. But Melton, if you have an issue, call safety. Safety will explain it to you. But the other thing is they give you a book with all that information on there. So you know what, the night before or whatever, you got the time, like I was here last night. I know this load, so I didn't have to read it, but my first time, you read it. It's got directions, it's got diagrams, stuff like that. So you have an idea what you're gonna do. But that's what we're gonna do. All right, let's go get some plastic on this thing. So we have 12 straps on this thing, alternating pulls for each level, plastic on it, edge strap tarp for protection. All we gotta do is do our tarps now. String on there, that thing will ride tight, it'll be good. Wind will go right underneath there. Think about the wind, it's gonna come through here. The deck's got these channels or whatever, wind will go through it, out. The idea is you don't want it doing this. So if it could come all the way out the back at the bottom, you know, like it could escape there, we don't want that. So it'll come out there. Run down the sides. It'll look good. All right, go get our paperwork. Everybody's ahead of us. Go get our paperwork and get out of here.